My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff, and today I've got a video all based around some DPS and a couple of tricks I don't see many people using, and a couple of quirky little combos that again I don't see people using, but I stick to these. We're going to be featuring Armamentarium, Cuirass of the Falling Star, Switcheroonies, and on top of that we are going to be featuring Omni Oculus for DPS. Yes, you heard me right, we are going to be featuring Omni Oculus, and how I use this for DPS situations. Because I like to live life on the edge and I'm a bit crazy, sometimes I like to have a cup of coffee out of my cup of tea mug. That's how I live my life, but stay with me, I'm going to break all this down. Omnioculus, the Hunter, what this does, you gain a second smoke bomb and have damage resistance while you are invisible. I do not use this for invisibility for DPS situations, because via the smoke bomb, these actually got changed. The snare bomb, they actually weaken for 8 seconds now, so you get 2 of these weakening snare bombs, which is absolutely crazy. When you use these for DPS situations, like so, this is just an example. You can throw one of these smoke bombs, 8 seconds, you've got 2 of them. There's another one, there's another 8 seconds, that's 16 seconds of damage for you and your teammates. On top of that, you've got your tether and you've got your grenade, and you can dodge if you run the correct dodge, and you can just infinitely get your smoke bombs back. Echo of Undermining with your grenade, you can weaken with that as well, another 15%. So you can literally debuff a full target with this chest piece for about 30 seconds, if not even longer. So if you can imagine, you're in a DPS situation in a raid or a dungeon. You got 2 smoke bombs that last for 8 seconds each, a grenade. If you run Vortex Grenade, you've probably got another 8 seconds on there. So you've literally got loads of ways of weakening. You've also then as well got 2 different types of tethers to choose from. You can use the 30% debuff tether, or you can run the triple tether, whichever one you fancy. And on top of that, you've also got the invisibility as a backup if you really needed to, but I use this for a DPS situation, so it's really nifty, especially if you pair it with Monochromatic Maestro this season, because every time you deal elemental damage, it increases your matching weapon damage, but every time you throw one of these snare bombs or grenades or your tether, you are also going to get a 10% damage buff to your weapons, which does stack with everything else, like Surges and stuff like that. So you've literally got an infinite amount of Monochromatic Maestro for your void weapons, on top of all the other stuff that we've mentioned. So Monochromatic Maestro, having that on hand, an extra 10% damage to your void weapons. You can even pair it with Trapper's Ambush as well. Another way to use the Omnioculus, have 2 Trapper's Ambush, so every time you dive to the ground it's going to make you invisible and weaken the target that way. Pair that with something like Tessellation or another hard hitting void weapon, and you can also do some serious damage for yourself as well in certain situations. Tessellation is really good for this one because it does some massive damage, but you're adding a weakening effect on there, 15%. You're also proccing your Monochromatic Maestro, another 5%, another 10%, sorry, so you can still put out some serious damage. So let me know if any of you guys also run Omnioculus this way as well for damage situations. I've also tried things like 6 Coyote, but you're constantly having to dodge near enemies. It's not really perfect, but via Omnioculus you get 2 snare bombs, 2 smoke bombs straight off the bat, so it's really strong. Now what we're going to do is switch over to my Titan, and in my Titan we are going to be featuring pulse grenades. I absolutely love pulse grenades. These cause absolute carnage. They do so much damage, and again I'm featuring Monochromatic Maestro, which we'll go into again just a little bit more of the video, but pulse grenades are absolutely immense for all different types of great situations. Now the obvious choice is Armamentarium. You gain an additional grenade charge, so having 2 pulse grenades via Armamentarium is absolutely crazy. Pulse grenades, like I said, are strong, especially with a touch of thunder perk, which it creates ionic traces, makes sure pulse grenades do ionic traces and increase the damage over time. So I just want to focus on the actual pulse grenades and on how good these are for damage, clearing ads, and even for DPS situations as well. But again, like I said, via Monochromatic Maestro, as long as you run an arc weapon, if you shoot your arc weapon first, throw it your pulse grenade, you're going to get an extra 10% on your pulse grenade, and on top of that, the pulse grenade lasts for a long time, so it's also buffing your arc weapon damage by 10% as well. Cuirass of the Falling Star greatly increases your Thundercrash impact damage and gives you an overshield. This is the complete Titan super really for the Thunder Crash. It really completes it. But in DPS situations, as we know, you can do this. So if you start off with Armamentarium, Make sure you've got your 2 pulse grenades. Get rid of them. Quick switch a Rooney to your Cuirass of the Falling Star, and bang, you've got the best of both worlds. And you can do this in most raids. Loadouts, you can switch your loadouts unless it's master, things like that. So on day 1 raids like Crota, you could do this, get rid of your 2 pulse grenades, quick switch to your Cuirass of the Falling Star, get the best of both, and keep hitting with your arc weapons to proc your Monochromatic Maestro for the extra 10% damage on your grenades and your super. So it's an absolutely crazy little trick that I don't see hardly anyone using, and it's really strong. I tried it on Gorgoroth as well. I know it's not the best on Gorgoroth, but I just did this for a little example. Perfect for all different types of situation. Getting the best of both. Massive pulse damage from your grenades and absolutely massive thunder crash damage. So that wraps up this video. I'll leave both dim links in the video description for both builds. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day.